Welcome back, everybody. Yet another video from the mobile lair in the middle of a little storm. Moody, gloomy, just how I like it. We actually have two people trying to windsurf. Let me see if I can get this. Let me see if I can show you guys this. You see that? There's like two sails there. Like those are surfing boards. People actually trying to go and windsurf. It's not really focusing. Well, that blur that you see, that's two surfing boards and the sails next to the van that got them here. So people actually windsurf in Belgium. Can you believe that? Well, you better believe it because it is true. Anyway, enough with the intro. Today, I want to talk about not drinking the poison, and the poison being things like social media, but more specifically today, I want to talk about Reddit. Reddit, I know some of you, probably a lot of you, use Reddit. And it's interesting because I've gotten into Reddit maybe, I want to say 3 months ago. And the reason for that is due to Star Wars. Like, as you all know, I discovered, these Star Wars books, and I've been on this Star Wars binge ever since. And Reddit has great information on Star Wars. Like, the Star Wars subreddit is amazing. Like, I love how they pretend that it's all real, and they'll talk about things, and they'll go super in depth, and again, like, they'll talk about all these things like it's real and come up with reasonings and conclusions as to why something is the way it is in the books and in the movies. And it's just, I think it's cool. But then, like, the side effect, and I guess the danger of Reddit, is that you go in there for a certain interest, a hobby, whatever, and then somehow, some way, Reddit's algorithm, or, however it works, like, it manages to pull you into things that Reddit thinks is interesting to you, and before you know it, you're reading about topics that you didn't intentionally that you didn't originally want to read about, but it grabs you, and before you know it, you're spending, like, I've spent a few months on Reddit, and it's not just a Star Wars subreddit. Like, I'm reading a lot of political stuff. Like, for example, I like the Joe Rogan podcast, but then the Joe Rogan subreddit, for example, is this venomous place. It's terrible. Like, people are just angry, miserable, hateful people in there. Like, and I wanted to talk about that today. Like, I really feel like, and again, this is all me just like based off of my gut feeling, that I just feel like the vast and strong majority of people on Reddit and actively posting on Reddit are just like, white, early 30s, high educated, angry men. That's just how it comes across. Like, I'm reading these posts, and again, like, I don't know if they're white, but it's just like the whiteness just oozes through the screen. It's like, I'll give you an example. Like, I've spent most of my time on, because you guys know I'm a hip hop freak. I don't even know if many of you know that, but like, I spent more than 2 decades basically studying hip hop. Like, I got really deep into it, like all the underground scene. I used to rap myself. I know, cringe. I literally put out 4 albums myself. When I say put out, I mean, like, I recorded songs in a homemade studio and I burned it on a CD. I made the cover, all that. Anyway, like, I'm just trying to make the point that I was really deep into hip hop basically up until today, and I spent already a good 2 decades on a hip hop forum. And there it's just different. Like, I'm not gonna say it's predominantly black people, but there's just like a whole lot more, like, in my feeling, black people than on Reddit, and the vibe is just different. And definitely people talk shit and stuff, and there's a lot of back and forth, but it's just like there's less anger. I don't know what it is about white folks, man, but we are angry motherfuckers. And on Reddit, it's just like so in your face. And but at the same time, when you're reading the comments, you can tell that it's all about the ego and it's all about establishing the fact that they are speaking from a position of knowledge and power, and they can't help but signal that, even in their simplest replies. And yeah, what I found is that me spending some time on there, it turns you into that because you start believing that that echo chamber is the norm, and you start kind of, for example, I'll give you a very concrete example. A topic on Reddit, a very popular topic, is basically like millennials, Gen Z, and all this stuff, and how they're so weak, and how they're just constantly pulling the mental health card, and how they're just not equipped to deal with life anymore. That's how it seems. And I'll be the first to admit, like, one of the things that triggers me the most is weakness. I think it stems from my childhood. A lot of people around me growing up, I saw a lot of people around me get bullied. So that was always one of my biggest fears, to get bullied. And that's why I quickly adopted just, a mouthpiece, a social weapon. Like, I learned how to hurt people with my mouth. So if there was even a hint of a threat towards me, I would just bomb first and just, like, try to hurt the person that I was potentially threatened by, in terms of just making the most harsh jokes about them. Like, I would use anything, and and it was all out of fear. And I was always triggered by people that got bullied, because I was always like, fucking defend yourself, stand up for yourself. Why are you so weak? Why are you letting them do that to you? Like, that's always how I always kind of felt like if we all stand up, then there's not going to be any more bullying. Like, you're perpetuating the bullying by being a victim. And I know that's not correct of me, but I'm just trying to explain to you my mindset at the time. And that carried me, all throughout my teens, like even early 20s. Like, I was, I jokingly always say, like, I'm so happy I didn't record myself. I didn't have a YouTube channel when I was 20, because I would have, that would have been bad. So my point being, like, I'm always triggered by weakness, and then, like, I'm in these subreddits where they talk about, where they single out these, like, people who are complaining about nonsense, and where the current generations are depicted as all being weak and all being, like, emotional wrecks, and just, like, being people that are incapable of dealing with life. And then I thought myself, like, I was talking with a friend that I respect a lot, smart guy. We go back and forth a lot, and like, also, like, a philosopher type of dude. And I found myself complaining to him about, like, fucking millennials, dude, Gen Z, like, they're so fucking weak, like, and then he called me out on it, like, dude, I don't think that's really, like, most people that I know in real life are not like that. Like, I think that's something that exists, you know, especially on the internet, predominantly on the internet. And I was like, "That you're kind of right. Like, it's true." And I just wanted to use that epiphany to make this video to say a few things as it pertains to social media, and Reddit in particular. Like, that stuff poisons you. And I'm someone that's pretty self-aware. I'm critical. I believe I have a pretty good understanding of self, but it got me too. It got me because it's propaganda every day. It's on my phone. I'm scrolling, and then I see these things, these threads about isolated incidents about, people doing and saying weird things, and you just start thinking that's the norm. Like, it can happen to all of us. And this was kind of like a wake-up call for me. Like, you don't, it can happen to you too. And be wary of that. And I got suckered into it as well. So don't drink the poison. Stay away from those places. Like, Reddit is an incredibly toxic place. Try to, really stick to the subreddits that are very much focused on one of your passions, that are niche, and where there's no space for any political discourse, discord, or discourse. discourse. Yeah, political discourse or like all that type of stuff, because that doesn't make you any more intelligent, doesn't make you any more aware. It just makes you angry, bitter, and it just, poisons your day and it poisons your view on the world. So, yeah, that's basically my conclusion to that. And oh look, now these guys are actually surfing. Hold on, let me see if I can show you guys this. Let me see if I can show you guys. Look at these dudes surfing. You can stop now. Wait, let me get these guys. Why are you not showing up on the screen? Do you see him like all the way there? Yeah, okay. Yeah, this camera is not equipped for that type of zoomage. Alright. Sorry guys. That didn't make much sense. That was the video, basically. That was it. If you use Reddit, be cautious, be careful, because that stuff will poison your goddamn mind. And only weak, but most of you aren't. Alright, guys. Stay up. Don't forget to hit the like button. Peace.